Assalamu alaikum, this is Arfan Aftab and you are watching Manha Mentor. Today we are going to talk about what is Bitcoin, how it is different from fiat currency, what are Bitcoin wallets, and what is Bitcoin mining. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Money represents value. Any work you do for someone, the value you get as a return is money. You can use that money to get something of value from someone. That's revolving cycle of money or value. In olden days, there was no money, so a lot of different materials were being used as a value in different parts of the world like wheat, rice, salt, gold, other minerals. There was no standard value of any material. The value of that material was based on trust. People have to trust that it is indeed valuable. So value of money was based on trust. This created problems as people find it hard to always carry materials like gold with them while traveling. The banking system started to take off from there. Banks offer to take people's bar of gold and give in return receipts or certificates which were equivalent in value of that gold. These paper receipts were easier to carry, plus they do not need to cut their bar of gold each time they buy something. If people need their gold back, they simply need to take that equivalent receipt back to the bank. So that paper became money which held value and it became more practical. With the passage of time, this bond between paper and gold was broken. Governments itself became liable to their people for the value of money. So people started trading money which were backed by government trust. So fiat currency was created. Fiat is a Latin word which means by decree. So trust model changed from trusting some material to trusting the government. Well, everything has pros and cons. Couple of drawbacks which fiat currency have are, it is centralized. That means there is a central authority which controls and issue it, central banks of the governments. Whenever more money is required by the government, central banks can print more money. The problem with that is, it will inflate the market with money, hence the value of money will decrease. What that means is that the money you possess will be less valuable, or the purchasing power of that money will reduce. It might have happened to you sometime. Some product you purchased suddenly became expensive. It might be possible that product did not become expensive. The currency you hold has become less valuable. Its purchasing power has reduced. So you have to pay more money to buy that product. One example is Venezuela, where government has printed so much money that people are now not counting the money, but rather they are weighing the money. This happened because the value of that currency of the country has dropped so much. Well, there are many other factors determining the value of fiat currency, which will be dealt in detail in the financial education lectures. After fiat currency was made, then the central authorities moved towards the digital currency and started converting the physical money to digital money. So it can be tracked easily who owns what and how much. As nowadays, we commonly use debit cards, credit cards, wire transfer, PayPal, and other forms of digital money. The amount of physical money in the world is reducing every year. The banks nowadays use centralized system, as everyone has an account with the bank and bank keeps a ledger on their computer, which keeps track of who owns what and continuously tally the bookkeeping data. So the solution is centralized on the bank's computer, which has a ledger. We cannot access this ledger, otherwise people can make many copies of their account. What it means, if you have $1 in your account and you make 1000 copies, you will have now $1000. This is known as double spending. So, fiat currency is using a centralized system to tackle double spending problem. But centralized solution does have its own drawbacks. When anyone has control over your money supply, they get enormous power, and that can lead to many issues. Corruption, mismanagement, control. Your account can be frozen anytime that will deny access to your funds. In 2008, a mysterious guy named Satoshi Nakamoto published a document, claimed to create a digital money system called Bitcoin that does not need central authority to solve double spending problem. Bitcoin is a transparent, decentralized ledger, meaning any transaction and balance can be seen by anyone at any time and nobody is controlling it. Whereas fiat currency is controlled by a centralized bank system and its ledger cannot be seen by other than the authorized personnel only. In Bitcoin ledger system, what you can't know is who owns the balance and who is behind each transaction. Well, that's good and bad. Stay tuned till the end of video to know why. Decentralized means there is no single computer which holds all the ledger, unlike centralized system. With Bitcoin, all computers that participate in the system is also keeping copy of the ledger and constantly updating. This is also known as blockchain process. It's extremely hard to hack the ledger in decentralized system because there are thousands of computers in the world who are participating in the blockchain process of Bitcoin. Bitcoin DNA is digital. There are no physical coins, unlike fiat currency which was physical and with time passage was upgraded to digital. So basically, Bitcoin is an alternative to fiat money and no government or bank controls it. That's good and bad. Stay tuned till the end of video to know why. In Bitcoin transaction process, you need to have a Bitcoin wallet to store, receive, send and monitor Bitcoins. Your wallet interface with Bitcoin blockchain to monitor the ledger and to update their balance. Each wallet has a private key. Private key is the password of Bitcoin wallet. In order to send your Bitcoin to other wallets, you need to have access to the private key of your wallet. Do not share it with anyone. Whoever has it will have control on your wallet. Once the money is sent from the wallet, it's irretrievable and you won't know who the receiver person is and you cannot do anything about it. The other function of private key is to generate your Bitcoin address. Bitcoin address you can give to others to have a transaction. There is no way somebody can get your private key by having your Bitcoin address, which is generated by the private key. Always keep a copy of your private key on a flash drive or write it on a piece of paper and keep safe and hide it, because if you lose your private key, you lose your Bitcoins. Do not confuse yourself with Bitcoin and blockchain as same. Blockchain technology is a decentralized system which Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies use as per their protocols for transactions and ledger updating. In Bitcoin world, it's called mining. Some others call it token. Let me know in the comments below which other cryptos you are interested to know about, like Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Libra and many more. There are many different kinds of wallets available. Web wallet, desktop wallet, mobile wallet, hardware wallet, paper wallet. Web wallet is a hot wallet. Hot wallets are connected to internet via your desktop, pad, mobile. These are not very secure wallets. If you want to do transaction with exchanges or other Bitcoin services, you will use web wallets. These are extremely unsecure. Basically, you are keeping your money in someone else's wallet and asking them to take care. You can be exposed to fraud, hacking very easily. If that organization becomes bankrupt, they do have the wallet private key. Your Bitcoins can easily vanish. A general advice: when you need to use web exchange wallets for transaction, Keep minimum amount what is required for transaction on web wallets. You will be using web wallets because they are quite convenient, as you can buy and sell bitcoins at a fast pace. The next type of hot wallet is a desktop wallet. They store your private key on your desktop. If your computer is malware free, they are safe. But generally, this is not possible. It is hard to be always malware free and safe from hackers. Next is mobile wallet. These are also not secure enough, as phones are often stolen, lost, or broken. That's the main reason security and privacy are low. If you are using a mobile wallet, keep private key backup. So in case your mobile is lost or stolen, hopefully before someone accesses your wallet and transfer coins, you can use your private key to transfer your coins to your other wallet. As a general advice, do not keep more than required bitcoins in mobile wallet. Cold storage wallets are the most secure wallets for Bitcoin. These type of wallets does not have internet connection, so cannot be hacked. Some of the common types of cold storage wallets are paper wallets and hardware wallets. Paper wallets are a piece of paper on which your private key is written. These type of wallets are safe unless someone steals it physically or you lose it. So always keep multiple copies of this wallet. Hardware wallets are devices that store private key. You can connect them to your computer and use web page to allow control over wallet for Bitcoin transactions. The only drawback is you need to keep it with you all time. The next wallet is a multi-signature wallet. For this wallet, you can have more than one private keys. Normally, this type of wallet organizations keep. Board of directors use this for majority voting purposes, where every individual does have their own private key and they can set the voting method. Either all of them need to insert a private key in order to make a transaction, or let's say there are 5 members and out of 5, if 3 members insert the private key, they can be granted access to funds. They can preset any combination of private keys required to open the wallet. This is normally done for fund access based on majority voting system and to avoid one to have a complete access so that no one can retrieve coin at their own will without voting consensus of the majority. Let me know in the comments below if you are interested in seeing a video of real transaction of purchasing Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining. When doing transaction of Bitcoin, there is a sender, the people who send Bitcoin, and there is a receiver, the people who receive Bitcoin. As you already know, Bitcoin is decentralized currency. Unlike fiat currency, which is centralized, the power and control is with the bank in power. The sender and receiver go to bank for transaction and the bank has the ledger on their computer where they update the record. But in Bitcoin, as it is decentralized, no bank or government controls it. So who will do transaction for sender and receiver and update the ledger or bookkeeping? That's where Bitcoin mining plays a major role. Anyone who wants to be a part of Bitcoin transaction system known as blockchain can do so by guessing random numbers. Since computers are much faster than humans, so they do the guessing. The more powerful computer, the more guesses it can make per second. If the guess is right, your computer gets the chance to write the next Bitcoin transaction, update the ledger and create the block in the blockchain. Why will someone waste their energy, resources and time for transactions of Bitcoin? The miners get a reward of Bitcoins which are generated from the system for creating the block. Plus they get the transaction fees for the group of transactions which were compiled in the block which their computer performed. In simple words, when your computer guess is correct, it gets the chance to create a new block, update the ledger with couple of transactions which can be filled in that block, which becomes the part of the blockchain and sent to all the other computers called nodes in the world, which are part of Bitcoin mining, and all of them will update and verify, tally their ledger, which includes your block as well. So now you understand it is decentralized and transparent. It is decentralized because no single computer controls it. all computers in the world who are part of blockchain and Bitcoin mining process are part of it. So it is nearly impossible to hack 51% PC around the world to get control of this system, as no human is controlling it. So now you understand, it is decentralized and transparent. It is decentralized because no single computer controls it. All the computers in the world who are part of blockchain and Bitcoin mining process are part of it. So it is nearly impossible to hack 51% PCs around the world to get control of this system, as no human is controlling it. What does it mean by transparent? Is all of those computers have the ledger updated continuously, and at any given time, anyone can view it. The only thing you cannot know is who is the sender and who is the receiver. So in decentralized system, no bank, no government, no other entity has control and power. The ledger or bookkeeping is not a secret. It's transparent and anyone can view it. If you become Bitcoin miner, once you created block, finished transaction and updated the ledger, system will generate fixed amount of Bitcoins and will reward them to you. Plus you will get transaction fees for the amount of transactions which were compiled in that block. So basically, mining process allow more Bitcoin to mine from the system and maintain the ledger in decentralized manner. Are you interested in Bitcoin mining? Let me know in the comments below. Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto crafted rules in such a way the more mining power network will have, the difficult it becomes to guess. And if miners become less, it will become easy to guess. The reason was to take care of inflation by not flooding the market system with too many Bitcoins so that they remain valuable. On average, a new block is added every 10 minutes. The initial Bitcoin mining was done by using a simple CPU central processing unit, as there was no competition. It was very easy to do. As time progressed and more people started doing mining, it became harder for the CPU itself to do mining. People started using GPUs for mining, which are actually developed for playing computer games with high graphic requirements. If you are interested to know full details about GPU, how it works and why is it useful for mining, let me know in the comments below. We'll share with you full details about it so you can be familiar with GPU. With the passage of time, people started searching for more and more options of mining. Group of miners combined together and made a mining pool. In this way, their mining power became more effective. And when pool wins the competition, the reward is shared among pool members according to mining power each individual computer contributed in the pool. In this way, chances becomes better to get something even with low mining power computer rather than getting nothing. If you are new to mining and want to start mining, it's better if you join the pool. Let me know in the comments below if you want to know more about which pools are better for mining. This will help me to evaluate. If you are interested, we'll make a video on that. Next is cloud mining, where you do not need a system. You can rent it. Generally, try to avoid cloud mining as chances of scams are more. There is a mobile mining as well, but processor power is limited. You will end up draining your battery very fast. Then comes web mining. Some website owners use web mining by hijacking user CPU without their knowledge. They normally use it for other type of cryptocurrencies, where mining is easier compared to Bitcoin as demand is low. You should know what will be your expenses if you are interested in mining. Power consumption of GPUs and computers will increase. They will be overheated, so you need to invest in cooling, and all of that requires electricity. That's a cost, and probability of the components to get harm also increases as GPUs are quite expensive. Plus, if you are joining a pool, then pool will take certain percentage of your mining reward and Bitcoin transaction price share as well, since they are providing you a platform where your chances of revenue generation increases. These are some of the important factors to consider before mining. Let me know in the comments below if you want to know more about where and how to buy Bitcoin. This will help me to evaluate if you are interested. We'll make a video on that. To have a better future, you can't disregard history. Everything has to be built on foundation. While building, there are errors, blunders, mistakes. That does not matter. What matters is blunders and mistakes have been accepted. Only then the learning phase starts, where innovation, creativity starts. and leads the path towards an amazing, exciting, but mysterious future with bigger goals and objectives to be achieved. Let's see if cryptocurrency will play a major role in the future. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about Bitcoin future and why. If you like to know more about cryptocurrencies, leave a comment below and do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will receive the notification of all the latest videos published on the channel. And most important, press the like button. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.